It's Tuesday, November 16th, 2010. I'm Kevin McShann, and this is the McShann Sports Beat Report. Just when you thought you had seen everything and rationalized everything there was to rationalize, to steal a baseball term, sometimes you get hit with a curveball that comes out of left field. For the Washington Redskins, that analogy can be applied. 2.5 weeks ago, it appeared that Redskins head coach Mike Shanahan had stolen a script from the legendary soap opera As the World Turns when he benched his potentially franchise-changing quarterback in Donovan McNabb in favor of Rex Grossman in a Week 8 loss to the Detroit Lions, all because McNabb allegedly didn't have a good enough grasp of the 2-minute offense. And then there was this whole bit about cardiovascular endurance. Whatever the reason, all apparently seemed to be forgiven or forgotten on Monday because owner Daniel Snyder opened up the purse strings and gave McNabb a 5-year contract extension worth an estimated $78 million with $40 million in guaranteed money. McNabb is 33. His new 5-year contract extension runs through the 2015 season, and if he meets all the incentives in his contract, it could be worth as much as $88 million, according to NFL Network's Jason Lockenfora. McNabb's agent, Fletcher Smith, spoke to reporters on Monday prior to the Redskins' Monday night battle with the Philadelphia Eagles, McNabb's former team. He explained how the deal came together and what effect, if at all, the benching in Detroit had on getting the deal done.
Well, we've been working on it for quite some time now, maybe 5 months or so. The idea was we'd like to get it done prior to the beginning of the season. And if we could not do that, we would pace ourselves with the idea of potentially getting it done by the bye week. So once the bye week came around, we kind of ramped up the efforts in hopes that we would get it done. But our position from our side remained the same. That if we couldn't get it done, then we were perfectly content to wait till after the season. So things came together quickly, and it made sense for both sides, and we were able to get it done.
There's a report that the deal was on the table since October, that basically nothing changed except that the guarantee became whatever it was, but that the deal was on the table since October. Is that accurate?
No, that's not. I mean, we in October we were quite a ways away on average per year, as well as guarantee, as well as some of the language as well. So we were working at it at that time, but no, we weren't close to a deal.
How much came together today then? I mean, was there negotiating actually today that happened this afternoon?
Very little today. Very little today. Not really. Donovan is a professional, and this is not the first bit of adversity that he's had to deal with. And as you all saw, he handled it with much dignity and class, as he's done all of his career, really. So it was a small blip on the radar. We put it behind us. He put it behind him. I asked him if he wanted to be here, and he said that he loved it here, loves his teammates, loves the city, and the way the fans have embraced him, and the organization as well. So as long as he was happy here, it made it easy for us to get it done.
McNabb is currently in the midst of his 12th season in the NFL. He was traded from the Eagles to the Redskins in an interdivisional trade on April 4th, Easter Sunday of this year. And the Redskins general manager, Bruce Allen, says the team knew exactly what they were getting when they traded for the perennial Pro Bowler. When we made the trade for him, we understood what we were getting in Donovan. We're pleased with the leadership he brings, and we believe he can help us win, Allen said. At the midway point of the season, McNabb has completed 57.4% of his passes for 1,971 yards with 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. His QB rating stands at 76. In last night's shellacking at the hands of the Eagles, McNabb completed 17 of 31 passes for 295 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The Redskins lost the Monday night affair 59-28. McNabb says he's looking forward to the opportunity to continue a positive working relationship with everyone in the organization and is looking forward to many more years of success as a Washington Redskin. I have a pretty good relationship with the people in the organization here and some great backup support that goes for the players as well. For me, it's just about going out and playing my game and having fun doing it, he said. McNabb is one of only 6 quarterbacks in NFL history to have recorded at least 25,000 passing yards and 3,000 rushing yards. Randall Cunningham, Steve Young, Fran Tarkington, Steve McNair, and John Elway are the others. The signing of McNabb to a new 5-year contract extension received mixed reviews from Redskins Nation on the LeVar Arrington Show with Chad Dukes on Monday on 106.7 The Fan. Some fans are pleased that the team finally has stability at the most important position on the field, while others say this is just another situation where Daniel Snyder has thrown money at a problem, something he has become notorious for doing since buying the team in 1999.
Go to line 2. We'll talk to Philip in St. Mary's talking about Donovan McNabb's new contract. What's up, Philip?
Hey guys, how you doing? I love
What's going on? Thank you. What you got?
I keep hearing this doubt about the Donovan McNabb deal. You know, we've wasted so much money in Washington over the years, and now we have a future Hall of Fame quarterback that people are doubting. You know, I just heard EB say that he wasn't in his top 15 picks. I'd love to know which 15 quarterbacks were ahead of him out there that were available. But, I mean, Donovan is a class act. I love having him in Washington. I'm glad he's here, and I think he's going to benefit the team.
Good call. Thanks, buddy.
End of story. I mean, all the money we've wasted, this is money well spent.
Okay, we will see. I agree, but I think thank you for the call. I think you could make an argument that I could make an argument.
He hasn't been that quarterback for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Is the argument.
And 15 may be a high number, but I could make an argument for 10, man. I could say 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that are playing better than Donovan right now. Yeah,
this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a high number, but I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is.
But it's also who's available too. It's also if the quarterback is going to be available, then it is even worth it to have a conversation about. Let's go to line 6. We'll talk to Randy in Frederick. What's up, Randy?
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, dude?
I couldn't disagree with the last caller more. I think it's another example of us throwing money, a lot of money, at an average, over-the-hill veteran, just like Bruce Smith, just like Jason Taylor, just like Deion Sanders. I mean, we bring in.
Do you know how many big plays Bruce Smith made as a Washington Redskin?
I'm sorry?
I said, you must not have been paying attention when Bruce Smith was here, because he made a whole lot of plays when he was here.
I understand that, LeVar, but Donovan's not making plays. We're bringing in veterans and giving them a lot of money. But okay, other than Bruce Smith,
I mean, at least give them some credit for seeing him play. I mean, maybe the biggest thing was they wanted to see his durability, Chad, and to the caller. I mean, maybe it was about seeing that obviously Donovan McNabb can make it to 8 games playing healthy. Maybe it wasn't about the schematics of the whole thing, because again, it takes time to build a team the way you want to build a team. It takes time for them to learn the small details and intricacies that go into having a successful team. So maybe it wasn't about what we were looking for out of Donovan McNabb or anybody else that they're judging and studying on this team. Maybe it was more about seeing something that wasn't so obvious, like possibly seeing that Donovan McNabb was actually able to make it to Game 8. I don't think he's washed up.
He can make it to Game 8, but he's not. What's he doing to help the team? I mean, Carson Palmer is having a better statistical year than he is.
Yeah, but they're not winning. They're not winning, and I would say if Donovan McNabb had the receiving core that Carson Palmer has, we might be having a different conversation right now. That's a possibility. That's hypothetically speaking.
We booted Jason Campbell out of town, and he's going to Oakland, who is on paper, they're a far worse team than what we are. And he's got time to throw.
I would say on paper they're a far worse team, for one. And for two, when you really think about it, it's a different coaching regime. And that's the game of roulette you play when you have different coaching staffs come in. So it might not have been about, Jason Campbell really being able to be a winning quarterback for this team. It was just that the coaching staff determined that he wasn't going to be the guy they wanted to win with. And sometimes that's just a decision that needs to be made.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, none of them are going to have successful years if they got an offensive line that's Swiss cheese. I think that's a much bigger issue.
That is a much bigger issue.
The last years, I don't think we have back there.
But if it's a much bigger issue, then wouldn't you agree that you lock in the quarterback, and if you feel like the much bigger issue is not McNabb's ability to win games, but it's more the offensive line's ability to block for him, then you lock McNabb in for a couple years. You got a young guy underneath him, let him learn, and then you build the offensive line and see if you can build a running game.
The relationship between Donovan McNabb, Mike Shanahan, and the Redskins faithful can best be described as a garden. You have to plant the seeds and the fertilizer in order to experience moderate success. With that in mind, both Shanahan and McNabb would be wise to set aside their differences for the betterment of the team. Because after all, let's be frank, the facts in this case are relatively simple. The success of the Redskins under the Mike Shanahan era will be directly linked to the success of Donovan McNabb. So in a city that's more interested in scoring political points during election season, the Redskins will throw their hat in the ring and attempt to take some of the rhetoric away from Capitol Hill and turn it to Landover, Maryland. It should be most interesting to watch an intriguing dynamic between McNabb and Shanahan over the next 5 years. Kevin McShann, Sports Beat, reports.